Welcome to the Exceller of the podcast. Good afternoon, one and all listening to the podcast. Today we have with us Poornima Nair, an HR professional turned author whose debut book Almost Forever offers a tender and introspective exploration of love in its quietest and most complicated forms. Through the story of Arjun, Anvi, and Vihan, she brings to life the delicate interplay of unspoken emotions, timing, and the silent spaces where love often resides. Poornima's journey as a writer began at a young age, where she found comfort in expressing emotions that words spoken aloud could not fully capture. From personal reflections to blogging, her passion steadily evolved into storytelling that resonates deeply with readers. With Almost Forever, she marks a heartfelt entry into the literary world, touching upon themes of longing, confusion, and the courage or hesitation to speak one's heart out. So, ma'am, welcome to the podcast and congrats on your book being published.
Thank you.
A pleasure, ma'am. To begin with, my first question to you would be Almost Forever beautifully captures the quiet complexities of unspoken love. What inspired you to write this story, and how did the idea first take shape in your mind?
So, Almost Forever was inspired by people that I've come across at different stages of my life. So, especially during the school and college days. So, each character in this book carries a fragment of someone real. Maybe a smile that I have once noticed, a heartbeat that I have witnessed, a friendship that stayed with me, and or a moment that passed, that left a mark in myself. So in many ways this story is woven from the threads of everyday life, the subtle behaviors, the quiet glances, the little confusions, the emotions that that remain unsaid. So basically it is not based on one single person or a single story, so it's a combination of personalities and emotions and the moments that I have observed over time. And I've always been deeply moved, by the kind of love that goes unspoken, the silent feelings, the missed chances, the emotions that people carry within themselves without expressing them. So this story slowly took a shape from these observations, from the fragments of real lives, real emotions, and the complex emotions that stay hidden beneath the surface of every human being. So it's mostly rooted in reality and inspired from people that I've observed over the years. So I put them all together, and that is how Almost Forever was born.
Do you think unspoken love has more depth and potential in it than a kind of love that is said and that reaches exclusion? What are your views on it?
Yeah, so lot of movies and stories all depict love to be very loud and expressive. So what I think love is more of silence. So way a person cares for you, the way a person stands beside you when support is required and all that. That is what I feel is true love, rather than showing them, celebrating them, and being loved loud.
I mean, the small gestures from everyday life should itself speak about the love being there, the love being there instead of the celebrating love like one day, just out loud there. It's about the process. It's about the
It's
longer
about a process.
everyday.
Yeah, it's not like I do not believe in expressing love on one single day like a Valentine's Day or something like that. Love is something that needs to be celebrated all through your life, throughout every day. It should be there in your day to day life. Like if you are married, maybe you do not tell your spouse every day that you love each other, right? So it's just shown through the care, the food that you cook for him, the way you check with them if they have reached, the way you check if they are okay and all that. So that is what love is, rather than just celebrating it on one single day like a Valentine's Day or anything.
Yes, I think that is also the key to sustaining a long relationship, which
Yes,
most of us in today's generation they struggle with that
right.
because mostly with us it's like celebrating love and the loved one on more occasions than one. But most for like to sustain it in the longer run, you have to understand that it's not a loud expression at all. It's something that you carry within, and that is portrayed and expressed through the small gestures that you do towards the person that you love. I
True.
think that's what you wanted to like just
Yeah.
sum it up.
Yeah.
So my next question to you would be: your characters Arjun, Anvi, and Vihan feel deeply real and emotionally layered. Were they inspired by Any person that you observed specifically, or were they totally out of your imagination?
So it is not completely imagination. So I came across different individuals and different relationships that I have seen probably during my college days. So I have seen people, one-sided love during my college days where they found it difficult to express their love. But maybe those all, stayed with me, stayed in my heart for a long time. And maybe I wanted to put them into words. And I have seen my friends go through emotions they were unable to express, like a feeling of breakup, a feeling of one-sided love where they saw their loved one being going around with another person, and the emotions that they underwent, and all these are real life incidents that I have seen. So I cannot say that Anvi, Vihan, and Arjun are completely imaginary characters. They are reflection of many real emotions and experience woven together, and that is why maybe those emotions feel honest and relatable to very few of them who have read this story. And of course, yeah, to make it a little more interesting, I have added incidents which are little imaginary also.
Were there, like when you were writing the novel, any particular moments where you struggled with the plot, or where you felt you cannot go forward with this? We call it writer's block. Did that happen to you at any point in the process of writing?
Yeah, so as and when the story was taking its shape, I didn't know how to finish. I did not know what climax to give for the story. Should I give it a happy ending or a sad ending? So it is days of thinking went through, to give the climax. So I've changed the climax 3 times until I decided to go ahead with this. But this I thought, I wanted to give an emotion of how one would feel after a breakup when somebody is truly loved somebody. A normal breakup would be like any other movie, a normal breakup or anything. So I wanted to give something that would actually connect and make people understand how the emotion of breakup is, how an emotion of true love is, and I also wanted to bring in the emotion of silent love, so that Arjun character is somebody who loves Anvi without any expectation. So there is three genres of love has been shown in the same book, where silent love and after a breakup what happens and all those emotions. So the climax was very difficult for me to finalize, and I changed it 3 times, and this is what I decided finally.
Right. So, like as it just right now said, silence plays a very important role in the novel. So, silence and timing are a very powerful trait of the narrative. So, like, what drew you, like, as you just said, you were inspired from your college days, and your friends and other people that you observed at those times. But what drew you to pick up this theme of unspoken love, the unspoken love?
One of the inspiration is a friend of mine. So I have seen him go through those phases. So he was in love with a girl who, one-sided, but he didn't bloom into a proper relationship. So I have seen him go through those phase of thing, because I have been a close friend of his, and he shared his feelings with me. So maybe that was one of the inspiration that took me to design the character of Arjun.
As someone with a professional background in HR, how did you balance your career with your creative journey? And what challenges or joys did you encounter while writing a debut novel?
So professionally, yes, I am from a HR background. I've been working and I do have a family. I have kids to take care of. So storytelling has always been my interest. So, I keep telling stories to my kids, and I used to do blogging before. I used to write a lot of stories as a child, but it's been in the back of my mind since a long time that I wanted to publish it into a book. And I think one of the biggest support and encouragement that I got was from my husband. So whenever I used to write stories or blog, he always used to say, "Why don't you write a book? Why don't you make it into a book?" So I used to just take it as a joke. I was like, I'm just a very amateur story writer. I cannot write a book and all that. But he says, yeah, your stories are good enough to be made into a book and all that. So it has always been there at the back of my mind. It just began as a small passion. So I quietly carried for many years. And it was not planned or anything. It just happened, like, while coming back from work, when I was bored while traveling and all that, I used to just jot down points that crossed my mind and all that. And sometimes on weekends, or sometimes during the bus travel, when I had time, I used to jot it down. And sometimes when, I don't feel sleepy like 2 a.m. or something, there's a lot of emotions that cross my mind, a lot of thoughts. So what I used to do is I quickly note it down in my mobile phone, and later on, all these ideas got woven up. I woven into a story, and it just moved into a story of love, silence, and things that were unsaid. So basically, it is a dream uh, come moment for me.
Income true.
Yeah, as a debut author, and I've poured my emotions into this book. I really feel thankful to God to make this possible today. And of course, my husband, who has been a constant support to encourage me and publish this book today.
I think it's a really happy moment for any author to first for the first time to hold that print copy of the book in the hand and see their name on it. I think
Yes.
it's a very special moment to unfold. So when so like as you have published your debut novel, what would you advise? What would be a message to any new author, any upcoming author who is thinking of publishing a book and who has the potential in him or get published? What would you tell them?
See, first of all, believe in yourself, believe in your story. I think always one only if you try you'll get to know what your capability is. If I am able to do it, I think everybody should be able to do it, because I am not a professional author or a person who writes or anything. It's just a try, an attempt, and I think if I'm able to do it, anybody should be able to do it. Just believe in yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like as I just said, when somebody receives the first copy of the print in the hand with the name on it, what was that experience like for you?
I was really excited to see the first book, because I think after launching, it took some time for me to receive the first copy in my hand.
Right.
So every day I used to log into Amazon and just see the book and my name there and the reviews and all that. So it was very exciting for me as my family as well. My husband also used to do that, just log into Amazon and check. And he went around telling his family that my wife has published this book, and he was doing a self advertising for from his side.
You.
So all that actually made me feel proud that somebody is actually feeling proud about what I have done. So it's a very happy moment to see, and I think it's very encouraging to write more when you see people around you actually, wherever I go now, people are like recognizing me. Oh, you have written a book. You're an author now. So it feels really good. There is something feel like I've achieved something.
Was there a kind of an anxiety to see how the readers would receive your book? It
Yeah,
was first published, and then
yeah.
how did it unfold for you?
So
How were the first responses like?
I went around and told my friends and my relatives, and everybody was equally excited and supportive. I think everybody wanted a copy of it, and whenever I go for any function or anything, people are always talking about my book. My kids are also like, they have also told their friends, even though they're not in the age of reading those books, but they are equally excited. They go around and tell their friends, my mommy has written a book. They've even gone and told their school teachers to get the book, that, my mom has written a book and you should go read it. So it's really exciting and nice to see. And I do, log into Amazon and other Play Store and keep checking, like, what is the rating that I've got for my book and what is the reviews I've got. I have a few reviewers, take up my book and given a good review about my book. So I feel good about it.
Do you plan to write another novel or any further future plans in mind about writing?
Yeah, I do have plans, and a few ideas are there at the back of my mind, but I'm still finding time to sit down and put those ideas into notes.
Right. I'm sure you're gonna do it in a very, very short time. It won't take much time for you. And I'm sure it'll also start with somewhere in your blog, and then those will become again a novel,
Yeah, I
as it
hope.
as it happened for the first one.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite author, or what's your favorite genre of literature? If you
Favorite genre is mostly non-fictional,
okay,
and I've been reading a lot since, but I think after motherhood, I've not got that much of time to sit and read books. But I've read all versions of Chetan Bhagat's. I have read Abdul Kalam books. It's not like particularly something. Maybe that book should just attract me. I would just go ahead and read it.
calls for you to read it. Has to
Yes.
have that connection with you.
Connection. Yeah. I
Yeah.
go back, I just read the gist of it. And if I can get connected to it, I read it. That's it.
is there any particular book that always stayed with you and you think inspired your journey as an author?
Yeah, there is one book. I too had a love story. I think that is one of my
By
favorite.
Durga Datta.
Sorry,
By Durga Datta.
no, it is
Ravinder Singh.
Ravinder Singh. Yeah,
Right, right.
that book is the one that stayed with me for a long time. I think one of the books where I got emotional and I had tears in my eyes. So that is one of my favorite stories that I have read.
What an interesting portfolio of works, from nonfiction reading to Ravinder Singh to career as an HR and then as an author with family and everything. Quite a thing. So I am here with my last question to you. How was your journey with Excellent Books to publish your book almost forever? How did that happen? How did they make it easy for you? Or what was the journey like?
I did explore a lot of other publishers as well. So I think almost a month or two of research I had done. And finally, I landed up with Exceler. So my experience has been quite smooth and encouraging. As a first time author, I thought, a lot of, I did apply with two or three, but they reached out to me a little late. So I didn't get proper responses from a lot of them. But I think Exceler reached out to me immediately and they they liked my manuscript and were ready to publish my book. And there was a proper structure and guidance on how step by step what is being done and all that. So I think I appreciated most was seeing my story gradually take shape. Like, but it did take a lot of time, I think, for the editing and the to read the manuscript and come back. It did take some time, but yeah, I appreciate what XLR book did for me, and I think because of XLR book, I was able to publish my debut novel, and it has given me a confidence that I would be able to write more and take my writing to a serious level. So it's been a meaningful journey for me, and thank you for that.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. A big, big congrats to you for publishing your book with us. And I'm sure our audience will also have their own key takeaways from the podcast today. So, your journey and insights are truly inspiring, and we are certain that your story will resonate with many, many readers India wide and worldwide.
Thank you,
We wish you continued success in your writing journey and look forward to seeing you what you create next.
thank you.
My pleasure, ma'am. And for our listeners, Almost Forever is available in print on Amazon.in, Amazon.com, Barnes& and Noble, Booktopia, and Bookscape, and as an ebook version on Google. So, thank you, ma'am.